What's going on with it, man? It's Trill Bands. We here for episode 4 of Smoking and Rapping. I got my boy Demetrius Stigar on. He is the founder of Hungry Mouths of America. I pretty much brought him on because I wanted him to give y'all insight on what he's actually out here doing, helping out the homeless. I know some of y'all might see him out here feeding the homeless sometime. I've seen him before help out a homeless lady and get in a new tent so she can continue to sell stuff on the streets, all different type of stuff. So I'm gonna turn it over to him to give y'all more information about Hungry Mouths of America. But before we get into that, why don't you let the people know where you actually from?
I'm originally from the Bay Area, San Jose, California. Due to my lifestyle, I done lived all over the world, from Oakland, Modesto, Stockton, Frisco, all the way down to Chicago, Boston.
All around.
Yeah, all around pretty much. Like an iguana.
And was you living around like that because you just was out there, or?
I mean, it's a little bit of all that out there, soul searching, you know, exploring, a little bit of all that.
When you so what actually led you to starting Hungry Mouths? Like, what is Hungry Mouths of America? What do you actually do?
Originally, when I first started in 2014, it was a point in my life where I had, you know, I had got my first job and I was getting my first, you know, legit check every week, and I just told myself I wanted to help the homeless twice every month, every second Sunday or some weird stuff like that. So that's how it started, and I did that. I started off with like 50 people every second Sunday. And then it just that Thanksgiving I had bought like 30 turkeys, and you know,
you brought 30 turkeys?
Yeah, 30 turkeys.
What'd you do with the 30 turkeys?
I had like 8 different people cook. You know, I had a couple people cook the turkeys, and we made a lot of plates.
And gave them all out to the homeless? Did you set up somewhere, or did you just go out and hand them out?
Nah, we just went out in the streets.
And just hit up anybody who looked like they needed to play on
different cities.
Thanksgiving?
We did it in Modesto, Stockton, Oakland, Frisco, Fresno. We did it a couple places.
So, do you only feed the homeless, or what all do you actually do for the homeless?
So, I mean,
or what's the overall goal for the company to actually be one day for the nonprofit?
Well, what we started doing was feeding the homeless, helping them obtain like basic essentials, toiletries, hygiene, you know, motivation, you know, resources, you know. But now I'm in the works of me and my team. We actually are trying to build a navigation center to where it's gonna house 180, you know, individuals, you know, and provide them with the resources and the assistance that they need to get back on their feet.
Kind of like a transitional living program, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it basically, like, you go from homeless to living there for a decent price, for a cheaper price than you would place. Are you gonna live there completely free? Or the people gonna live there completely free? That's the goal.
They won't be living there for too long, but it's gonna be set up to when they're there, they're gonna be put into a program where they're assisted in like resources and assistance to care, like appointments and stuff, to where they're getting permanent housing eventually.
But you got to make it through the program, obviously.
Absolutely.
And so, what does Hungry Mouths of America, what does it stand for?
Hungry Mouths.
Like, what made you come up with that name for the nonprofit, for your nonprofit?
I mean, diversity. Hunger, poverty, you know, struggle. That really don't have no face to it. It really don't have no color to it. It really affects all of us. So, really, when I say America, I really mean America, but I also mean everywhere else too, though. So And that's the goal, to get everywhere else. It's not.
But you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, plant your feet, and, you know, expand when it's time. So that's all we doing. We just keeping up the momentum.
So basically, Hungry Mouths of America is like you're helping all the hungry mouths in America.
Hungry mouths. I mean, when we say hunger, I mean we mean hunger. We mean we mean the effects of hunger. You know, we mean it's a whole. But it's not just being hungry. It's a lot of mental things that go on with that too. I mean, when a person experiences homelessness, it's a lot of things mentally, you know, physically, and just, you know, all around. You just get, it hits you in a different way. So you really have to you got to look at it as a seriousness, like a mental illness in a way. Like, that's how we really should be looking at it. Because if you a person like me, my parents didn't have it. They didn't have it right. They used drugs, you know. They had us move around a lot. And at the end of the day, when I came up to a certain age, I thought that was normal. So it's like,
You thought being outside, being like, that was like the normal life. Like, everybody, this is what everybody is doing. Everybody's in poverty. Everybody's not having shit, until motherfuckers actually start seeing the world and start seeing that there's some people that actually are living good.
I mean, exactly. I didn't experience that life until I was about 13.
That's when you started experiencing a better lifestyle?
I mean, I'm gonna say a normal, so to say, a normal lifestyle. My uncle had adopted me and my sister.
Okay.
Because my mom had ended up having a stroke and ended up in the hospital, and my dad ended up, you know, falling off, and, you know, due to her death and stuff, he started doing drugs. So
when your mom went to the hospital, she actually passed away?
Yeah, a year later. She was in a coma.
For a whole year?
A year and a half, really, yeah.
Damn. I never knew that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember a while back, you stayed a week on Skid Row?
Nah, not a week.
A weekend?
Yeah, a week.
Okay, so you stayed a weekend in LA on Skid Row to experience actually what they experienced on Skid Row, their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And how was that experience?
I mean, man, to be honest, like I said, I've been experiencing homelessness since birth, with my parents, without my parents. So it's like, me, I thought going there was like nothing really out the ordinary, but Skid Row is just a different kind of place. It's beautiful though. It's a beautiful, different kind of place. But at the same time, it's also dangerous in its own way. Not like just dangerous overall. It's just, they do have their dangerous parts. So it's like, you know, it's a very humbling, you know, experience it. Nobody cares who you are. Nobody's judging. Nobody really knows, and anything can happen. So, I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, we went there with good intentions and good experiences.
So you stayed Friday night, Saturday night, and left Sunday?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so you experienced eating outside, using the restroom outside, hygiene, clicking, brushing your teeth, shower, everything outside.
We didn't shower.
No, so for 2 days, no shower. What'd you eat?
Man, we had made a list of just like bologna. We had stuff, but to be honest, like, it got crazy because my friend had got food poisoning down there. We was eating down there. It was just crazy. Like,
shit got real.
Instantly, like, damn, that's how we knew.
Real
like,
homeless experience.
Yeah, like, that's how I'm like, damn, like, being homeless, like, I don't know, like, majority of people have experiencing like getting kicked out of somewhere and maybe having to stay at a friend's house or something,
but being really homeless outside every day,
yeah, it's
doing the drugs they do and shit, it's not it's not that easy to come up out of that shit once you that deep in it.
Yeah, most definitely. It's very hard. It's very hard for anybody. I mean, anybody that get knocked down or discouraged, I mean, it's hard to pick yourself up
to that position. Hell yeah. And so at the time when you was out there, did you film it or did you just take pictures of it, or you just experienced it just for your personal experience?
I did that for personal experience. I mean, it was kind of early. It was about, I think it was 2016. So I wasn't even comfortable using cameras like that. I wasn't into that, like. But it was definitely for the personal experience, and it was beautiful though. What I did capture, I captured a couple pictures, but that's about it. I never was out there videotaping like that though.
And what made you want to go the non-profit route versus starting an actual LLC and saying this is an LLC and we provide X, Y, and Z for the homeless and you can come buy this, or you know what I'm saying?
To be honest, it really didn't even happen. Like I never started this like I wanted to start it as a business. When I started it through purpose. Really, I realized like what made me happy in life. So I just was like, okay, this is what made me happy outside of whatever I'm doing out in my other spare time. So, but when I started doing it, I started meeting different people and I started interacting with different crowds, and you know, they was kind of telling me like, do you know the business side of this? Like, and for the longest I was like, I didn't really care about that. But then I was like,
you just was doing it. It was just something to do.
Yeah, it was something to do, and it was something I love to do, and it's something that was just so natural to me. Like I'm in the streets, I'm helping people like that. I'm talking to people, we interacting, they telling me their story, I'm telling the story. Like that's regular stuff. That's what I do all over the world. So I wasn't even really, I like that type of, I learned a lot from that. So I wasn't really tripping over that. So, but then I started thinking like, how could I help in a bigger way? Like, I started thinking about the long run and how just on a whole bigger platform. I started thinking 5 or 10 years down the line, like starting to have my own mission and like I'm like really
what you actually doing this for.
Exactly. Like the giving thing was just the start. It was the seed. It was the seed that needed to be planted, and the sacrifice over and over and over. You know, to just, you know, get to where I am now, to know that even I could do it. Like, okay, like anything is possible.
Exactly. And so you, I seen a couple, maybe like a week or two ago, you connected with the Balloons Over Bullets.
Yeah. That's my boy Demar. Shout out my boy Demar.
And so,
in Stockton, California.
What y'all? How did you guys end up coming across each other and connecting? You guys
to be honest, social media. I seen that, you know, he was doing this thing in Stockton a few years ago, and we always just kept in contact. You know, we always encouraged each other. You know, keep going. We always made it a point like I'm gonna make it to your thing. I'm gonna make it to, and you know, and then one day, you know, the opportunity came to where I felt like, you know, God was calling us together, and I made the phone call, and you know, he was with it, and we just connected, and ever since it's just been work. It's been work. It's been beautiful work.
So basically, in the last couple years, you've been out there feeding the homeless, helping the homeless get clothes, different stuff for their hygiene, to keep their hygiene up while they're outside. You done help the kids get backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
All that, you did all that. And in your prior life, obviously anybody who would know you, you wasn't your perfect angel out here. So what made you decide to change your lifestyle and leave from somebody who was looked at as like one of them guys out here who was really in them streets, to somebody who wanted to actually help the people that's actually in them streets?
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like any person in the streets, like really in the streets, like you get to a point to where, you know, I mean, you just like, you know, what is you putting out here in these streets? I mean, I ain't saying both ways. I feel like everybody has to experience whatever side they asking for. So it's like, you know, whatever's clever. But when you come to a point where you get to a certain age and you start thinking, or really my turning point was I had kids. So I had kids, and it kind of had me thinking like, okay, it ain't really.
Kids you got?
I have 2 boys.
You got 2 boys.
Yeah, so I was thinking like I can't just do things for me. It's not about me no more, because I got I got a boy, I got 2 boys that's looking at me. They just looking at me at my every move. So I just kind of start switching it up. I realize the world is big. It's big. So I was like, let me explore. Let me go find something. And yeah, so when I started doing the 100 Miles of America, that was like my outlet. I felt comfortable in the streets. I was already out there. But I switched it. I felt like switching it up. Like, when I did switch it up, it was kind of a cool feeling.
To where a nigga didn't have to look over his shoulder no more. A nigga wouldn't trim up the police.
Yeah.
I mean, a nigga always, if you funkin' with somebody, you might have. But, you know what I'm saying? Just to be able to say, like, okay, I can wake up in the morning and be on something positive instead of something negative is obviously a good feeling for anybody, you know?
Most definitely. I mean, it's however you rocking out here. I mean, you feel me? Everybody's grown. Everybody's responsible for their actions. So it's like you get what you put out here in this world. I mean, that's it.
That's what come with that lifestyle, yeah.
I mean,
you put negativity into the world, you're gonna get a negative output in your lifestyle. You put positivity in the world, you can expect positive energy back.
I mean, and at the same time, it's just like it don't like that doesn't even that. I mean, that's like inevitable. I mean, like people gonna hate, people gonna like you could get in road rage and get killed. It's just so many things. We got COVID-19 now. It's just so many different things. Like, it's just all what you put your mind to. Like, at the end of the day.
Speaking of the COVID, I got kind of like 2 questions in one. One, did you do anything special to kind of help the homeless during COVID? And how do you think the COVID is affecting the homeless? Like, do you think it's actually a lot of people out there that's really sick with the COVID and they homeless, they outside, they're not able to get the proper care that they need? Or do you think?
No, that's a good question. I feel like, yeah, we did do a couple things for the homeless. You know, like I said, we still in the works of trying to get this navigation center built, raise money, get the city behind us, get the right organizations and the people and the right community investors, community leadership behind us. So that's what we really focusing on right now with that, and on top of, you know, charity as far as still getting them some food, and, you know, we doing community cleanups as far as, you know, cleaning up the area that we trying to bring the shelter to. So we just kind of staying busy on whatever we can, you know, whatever momentum we could keep up going. And, you know, and we just waiting, and we just trying to collab with all like minds and all like-minded organizations and individuals that's trying to push for same or similar causes, or whatever we can help with. It's all love. It's all love. Like, and I feel like if you rock like that, things get done better. And that's what I realized over time. A lot of organizations don't work together because, I don't know, I guess it turns into some type of competition, but when you collaborate over competition, I mean, it goes along.
It goes further.
Yeah, so.
That's one thing the whole world overall, everybody fighting over, is just being able to learn how to work together. You feel me? That's just overall. People not gonna do that. But I was gonna say, so with the COVID, do you feel like the homeless people that was affected by the COVID, that have been affected by the COVID, do you think that is ignored sometimes?
To be honest, I've seen all type of articles on every other type of person getting it. I haven't seen too many homeless articles or people talking about an outbreak in the homeless community. So I'm really yet to wait for the data, I guess, until when all this is over or whatever. But me myself personally, I haven't heard nothing.
Yeah, it's been like and I say that too, like when you look at the COVID, they really kind of talk about the famous people and the community people, the working class, but if you really think about it, the homeless people would probably be affected by it more than anybody, because
or at least the most vulnerable.
Yeah, because once they get it, they not, where can they quarantine it? They outside. There's no quarantine for it, you know what I'm saying? So once they got it, they just got it, and it's going to continue to circle in the homeless community because nobody's ever going to secure from it. That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I haven't heard too much about that anywhere. So I guess I'm just waiting for the data, but I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, and so that's for like when you do stuff for the homeless or when you help people and stuff like that, you're actually using your own money right now. You don't have any sponsors, you don't have any investors or anything like that. Right now, you're using your money out of your pocket.
Everything I've done, I've done out of my own pocket. I mean, by the grace of God, like a couple of times I've had a few people, you know, based off volunteers. Other than volunteers and a little bit of donations here and there, maybe a couple hundred over the span of 6 years. Nah, I haven't. I really ain't asked for nothing. I really try to make it as easy as possible for people to just want to volunteer and come out and experience it rather than asking for something, because, you know, that just makes it a little harder. But, you know, if you just say all you got to do is come show love, it makes it a lot easier.
Like if people just show up and show support as opposed to show up.
Yeah, so I make sure I got most of it taken care of to the point to where anything that would be donated would just be just a little, I don't know, a little thank you.
Yeah.
But, you know, just in case somebody did want to help, you know. But for the most part, I try to take care of it for the most part, because I know it's gonna get done.
If you do it, yeah, I feel that. You don't want to wait for no handouts just to get this shit done.
Yeah, it'd be disappointments. I've learned that early.
So if anybody watching this and they was to happen to stumble across and they actually want to contact you and maybe work with Hungry Mouths of America, maybe come volunteer with Hungry Mouths of America, if they maybe want to invest, where could they contact you at?
You can contact me at, Demetrius Stigar 91. That's on Instagram. You could contact me, Demetrius Stigar, on Facebook. You could contact Hungry Mouths of America on Instagram. You could contact hungrymouthsofamerica.org. And yeah, man, just, you know, we out there. So, even if you got some ideas for your own city, man, I'm trying to go across the world. So anybody trying to link up Chicago, Boston, New Jersey, anybody, man, let's work. Let's bring some positivity to the streets, to the hood. You know, sometimes, you know, like my boys say, my boy, his crew is United Players, and their slogan is, "It take the hood to save the hood." So, you know, that's what we on. So let's build, you feel me?
All right, y'all, that's episode 4 of Smoking and Rapping, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Tune in with Demetrius. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the Money Bag Association channel. And keep liking, motherfuckers.
You feel me?